Hi everyone, it's Coach Ali, and today I want to cover my top 20 list of low carbohydrate, almost zero sugar foods for people trying to lose body fat. Now, this is probably particularly relevant nowadays because of restricted movement due to self-isolation, work from home, and social distancing protocols due to the coronavirus globally. If you're stuck at home and you're not burning as much calories as your pre-COVID days, then it's important to drop your calories intake to reflect your new energy expenditure to prevent you from accumulating unwanted body fat. Now, managing calories through reduced carbohydrate intake is going to be the key for keeping you lean or making you even leaner. With that said, here are 20 suggestions to help you manage carbohydrate intake, particularly sugar. Now, the first item on my list is lime. Lime is one of the lowest carbohydrate fruits with the lowest percentage of sugar. Now, 100 grams of lime contains only 30 calories, 10 grams of total carbohydrates, and only around 1 gram of sugar. Additionally, 100 grams of lime contains almost 30 milligrams of vitamin C, which accounts for a third of your daily value. Next one we're going to move on to is broccoli. Broccoli is a vitamin A, vitamin B, and vitamin C superfood. 100 grams of broccoli contains only 34 calories, 7 grams of carbohydrate, in which there is less than 2 grams of sugar. 100 grams of broccoli contains about 150% of your daily value for vitamin C. Next, I've got capsicum, or bell pepper if you like. Capsicum is a great source of potassium as well as vitamin C. 100 grams of capsicum contains only 26 calories and 6 grams of carbohydrate, of which only 4 grams is sugar. Capsicum is an excellent inclusion in your pre-contest diet, especially during your water loading week, because you get over 200 milligrams of potassium for only 2 milligrams of sodium, which will go a long way towards managing your fluid retention. While we're on the topic of pre-contest foods, another great high potassium, low sodium food to consider is eggplant. Eggplant contains 35 calories per 100 grams with only 8 grams of carbs, of which 3 grams is made up of sugar. With 120 milligrams of potassium and only 1 milligram of sodium, it's another great addition to your water loading week before you dehydrate and get into contest condition. Mushrooms, yet another great pre-contest low-carb food with high potassium and low sodium balance. Mushroom offers 28 calories per 100 grams with only 5 grams of carbs and just 2 grams of sugar. With over 350 milligrams of potassium to only 2 milligrams of sodium, mushroom is the ultimate pre-contest food, especially if you're trying to come up with ingredients to have your protein foods with. Mushroom's also a great source of iron and dietary fiber as well. Next, avocado is a great source of high-density lipoprotein or good cholesterol. So it's a healthy source of fat to include in your diet. While it's higher in calories than majority of foods listed today with 200 calories per 100 grams, avocado only contains 2 grams of carbs and almost no sugar. What's more, it's a great source of vitamin E and vitamin B6. 100 grams of avocado contains 25% of your daily requirement for both vitamin B and vitamin E. Okay, celery is one of the lowest energy foods on today's list with only 18 calories per 100 grams. It contains 4 grams of carbs with only 2 grams of sugar. Celery is great for filling your stomach with minimal calories intake. It's great for supporting your digestion and reducing inflammation, both necessary to facilitate your workout. Now, olive is a low-carb, zero-sugar fruit that derives 3/4 of its calories from monounsaturated fats, typically around 120 calories for 100 grams of it. Olives contain 6 grams of carbs with 0 sugar. The thing to watch out for with olives is that it's typically preserved in brine or salt water. This basically means that it will come with a great deal of sodium, which will assist you in holding fluid. Now, water retention is great for training and general performance, but it's no good if you're pre-contest or if you're trying to release water or if you have a shoot coming up or if you want to look tight and chiseled. Next on my list is kale. Now, kale is a great source of dietary fiber, which makes up about 80% of the carbs in kale. 100 grams of raw kale contains 35 calories and only 5 grams of carbs. This is broken down to 4 grams of fiber and only 1 gram of sugar. So it's almost sugar-free. Kale is also rich in vitamin A, vitamin C, potassium, iron, and calcium. So this makes it another great pre-contest food. One of my favorites, cucumber, is a super low calorie food. In fact, some people argue that by the time you digest cucumber, there's no calories left to be absorbed. 100 grams of cucumber contains a tiny 15 calories with less than 4 grams of carbs and less than 2 grams of sugar. What's more, cucumber is yet another potassium-rich food with ample vitamin K, making cucumber also ideal for pre-contest. Cauliflower is another great stomach filler. 100 grams of cauliflower contains only 30 calories and only 6 grams of carbs. This is equally split between sugar and dietary fiber. Cauliflower is rich in vitamin C, vitamin K, vitamin B6 and folate as well. Cauliflower has several properties that may aid you in weight loss, so it's definitely a keeper. Next, I've got mint, which is a great addition to your diet because not only is it low in calories, carbs, and sugar, but it also helps relieve indigestion, food-related stomach pain, and irritable bowel syndrome as well. It's easy to add to any diet to enhance the flavors. 100 grams of mint equates to 70 calories with 15 grams of carbs, but it's worth noting that mint is sugar-free. Lemon is a low carbohydrate fruit with low percentage of sugar too. 100 grams of lemon contains only 20 calories with 10 grams of total carbohydrates and just over 2 grams of sugar. Additionally, lemon is rich in vitamin C and potassium and it's low in sodium, so it's a great contest prep companion to flavor your foods. It's renowned for supporting weight loss and aiding digestion, but what you may not know is that it helps improve your skin quality as well. Lemon definitely gets the tick of approval from me. Okay, let's move on to nuts now, guys. And I've noticed that lots of people misunderstand nuts. I've explained nuts in great detail on my proteins video, but I've seen lots of people referring to nuts such as cashews as low carb, which is simply not true. In fact, cashews contain more carbs and fats than they do protein when you measure per 100 grams. So let me help clarify the misunderstanding here. I would rank Brazil nuts number 1 if I'm trying to measure lowest carbs and sugar. 100 grams of Brazil nuts contain around 680 calories with 4 grams of carbs and 2 grams of sugar, which is the lowest in the nut family. Now, I would rank pecan as number 2 because 100 grams of it contains 720 calories, also with 4 grams of carbs, but all 4 grams are sugar. This is still very low considering it's around a third of its protein calories. Okay, I've left animal products last, so if you're vegan, you can stop your list right here. Now, let's get started with our list of low carb, low sugar animal products with the king of protein, which is eggs. Now, I've covered eggs thoroughly in my list of top protein foods, and those of you who have watched that video will know that egg white is the purest form of protein in nature, with 85% of its calories coming from protein. If you haven't watched that video, then simply go to my playlist titled Coach Ali Explains, and you're welcome to check it out and get my view on protein foods, among other topics. 100 grams of egg contains nearly 150 calories with less than 1% carbs, so sugar is almost nil and it's not even worth mentioning. What is noteworthy is that eggs are rich in both vitamin D and iron. Eggs contain virtually equal amounts of sodium and potassium, so they're not going to have much impact on your fluid retention balance. Next, I want to move on to cheese. Now, when it comes to selecting cheese, my number 1 is reduced fat cheddar. Let me explain to you why. Reduced fat cheddar is the perfect balance in high protein, moderate calories, and low carbs. Gram for gram, it's the lowest in LDL bad cholesterols, and it's an excellent source of calcium too. 100 grams of low-fat cheddar typically offers 300 calories with 27% protein, which is on par with good quality meat. It contains only 3 grams of carbs and virtually no sugar. The thing to watch out for here is that it's 600 plus milligrams of sodium, which means you'll have to cut it out when you're water loading a week before contest. Next, I've got chicken. Now, I'm covering skinless chicken breast here simply because if you're into bodybuilding and aesthetics, skinless chicken breast is probably what you're eating, right? So 100 grams contains 165 calories with nil carbs, hence nil sugar. And the vast majority of the calories come from protein, which accounts for 31% of the weight of the chicken breast. It's also rich in essential minerals such as phosphorus and selenium. Okay, next I've got beef. Now, when it comes to beef, you're probably eating lean sirloin or something similar to that, right? 100 grams of lean sirloin contains around 145 calories with 0 carbs and sugar. Protein is typically around 22% with 4 grams of zinc, which is particularly valuable for men's health and general immunity. Alright, next I want to cover red flesh fish and white flesh fish separately. So let's consider typical commercial varieties of both of them. For red flesh fish, I've selected skinless salmon. Now, 100 grams of raw skinless salmon contains around 200 calories with nil carbs and sugar. Now, you already know that fish is abundant in good fats and cholesterol, and it's also a valuable source of vitamin B6. This is added to the 20 grams of protein, so salmon's looking like a pretty good choice if you're trying to reduce body fat. Now finally, I've left the best for last, and that is white flesh fish. And in that instance, I've chosen barramundi because that's my personal go-to protein source apart from eggs when I'm cutting. Now for 100 grams of barramundi, you're getting about 90 calories, which is less than half of that of salmon, and around the same amount of protein, so the same 20 grams. Now, this is a great source of protein because you can consume twice as much barramundi as you can salmon. So you'll double up on all your macronutrients and keep your calories steady. Needless to say, barramundi does not contain carbs. Alright guys, this completes my list of lowest carb and sugar foods to consider when you're dieting and trying to reduce body fat. Now, comment below and let me know what you think of my list. If you think your friends will benefit from my list, then please share it with them. And if you think I've missed anything on my list, then please comment and let me know below. Now, I'm gonna warn you guys, if you're gonna start giving me silly items like apples, watermelons, and cashews, and believe me, I've seen these on other people's low carb lists, then I'm gonna call you out. With that said, have yourselves an awesome day, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Take care of yourselves and each other.